Eli and her trans fringe freak show friends are threatening anyone that disagrees with them.
Outside
Why
of
are you
the
giving children hormones? I want an answer for that. Why are you setting up a network to give children hormones illegally?
outside of
Why are you giving children hormones illegally? Why are you setting up networks to do this, Eli?
so
This is a crime. I want to know why you're doing it. It really hurts us. It makes us look deranged. Why are you doing
Eli,
this?
why are you doing it?
Well, this is gonna make some great TV.
Okay, before I even start this video, why is it so freaking cold in Florida right now? I'm cold. Okay, no joke. I contemplated not even doing this video because it's so freaking cold right now that I'm like, I don't even want to record. Like, my hands are freezing. And yes, I do have heat, but I'm trying to save some money, so the heat's not on right now. And it's supposed to heat up in Florida in about 2 days, so gonna hold on for that. But it's freaking freezing, people, okay? Take the snow and bring it back up north. We don't want it. In fact, we left the north and came down south to get away from that. All right, now for today's video. And excuse my attire, excuse my hair. Like, I know I look a mess today, but it's cold, all right? And yeah, you're getting this. You're getting bummy Chuck today. Deal with it. So in today's video, we are going to be reacting to a Piers Morgan clip of a very important topic, of course, talking about women's rights, women's safety in sports, the Trans Act, and what's happening in politics right now with Donald Trump. And I thought this video was so interesting because, first of all, it came out a couple of days ago, and I was going to react to it when it first came out, but I decided to hold off because, you know, I just had things to do, and I didn't want to rush the video. I am a couple of days late, so I apologize. But I wanted to give you guys a quality video, which is why I decided to wait. And I watched the full video earlier today, and I'm like, oh my lord, here we go. I'm going to show you guys some interesting clips from this video that I found, and we're going to discuss it together and go over it together. In this clip, Piers Morgan is interviewing 3 people. He's interviewing a trans person by the name of Brianna. He's interviewing Tommy Loren, who is a conservative commentator. And he's also interviewing a very controversial trans person by the name of Eli Ehrlich. Now, Eli, I've done a full video on in the past, and I'll put the video up here somewhere, discussing my issues with Eli and how they have specifically harmed children in the trans movement by giving hormones to children illegally, as you saw from the intro. So it's a very interesting conversation, and the topic kind of goes crazy, as it always does on Piers Morgan, uncensored. But I enjoyed it because what we're seeing is not Tommy Loren, the conservative, going in on Eli Ehrlich and calling Eli out. We're seeing another trans person calling Eli out and pretty much calling Eli batshit crazy, which I thought, wow, what a moment of pure frustration and truth. Because what Brianna was saying was so spot on, and I felt it. I felt it from the core. So without further ado, let's watch these clips together and react accordingly. Roll it.
Executive Director from the progressive organisation Rebellion PAC, Brianna Wu, the trans rights activist Eli Ehrlich, and the host of Tommy Lehrer is Fearless on Outkick, Tommy Lehrer. Welcome to all of you. I mean, Eli, we heard it pretty well there from the professor, that from a biological point of view, never mind anything else, from a straight scientific biological point of view, a man cannot be a woman. What is your response to that?
he is completely unscientific and so bound up in his ideology that he isn't even paying attention to the vast majority of biologists, including those from the American Academy of Sciences, who disagree with him and do acknowledge that sex describes a variety of different characteristics that can be changed.
And this is why you will always lose the argument, Eli, because you cannot change biology, period. Biologically speaking, if you are born with XY chromosomes, you are a male. If you are born with XX, you are a female. Now, how you identify or how you feel on the inside is irrelevant. We're talking about biology and science, which are things that cannot be changed. I don't care how many surgeries you have. I don't care how many hormones you take. I don't care how many, emotional therapy sessions you go through. Biology is never going to change to morph into your view of what a woman is or what a man is. And the fact that you can't even cop to that and say, yeah, that's true, biology doesn't change, but how I feel is this. The fact that you're willing to try and debate this and say, well, according to sources, you're lost.
Do you not accept, there's a reason, for example, that we separate the sexes at the Olympics. It's because there is a presumption based on reality, fact, data, that biological men are superior in almost every physical way imaginable. They're more powerful, they're faster, they're stronger, they have greater lung capacity, and that if you didn't separate the sexes, if you took this to its logical extension, where biological men who become trans women start to just compete in the Olympics all in a free-for-all, a gender-neutral Olympics, then biological women would simply never win a medal again.
There has never been a trans woman who has won a gold in the Olympics.
You sure about that, buddy? You sure? Because gold medal, Olympics, male chromosomes. No?
Well, hang on, we literally just had at the Paris Olympics the Algerian boxer, welterweight
She's
division.
not a trans woman.
I'm about to tell you what
For all that we know, she is intersex. She was assigned female at birth.
All we know is she was banned from the World Championships the year before because she reportedly tested positive for male chromosomes. Now,
again, this does not mean she's a trans woman.
Why doesn't she just take a simple sex test and show us?
We can't speculate about someone's
Actually,
chromosomes.
we can. We can when they win gold medals, because you just said it's never happened. When a woman, or says she's a woman, wins a gold medal in a women's sport, and when one of the female competitors who competed against her in an earlier round said she had to quit after 40 seconds because she'd never been hit that hard, damn right we can ask some difficult questions.
When you ignore not only biology, but when you ignore gender itself, why should biological women, and I don't even like saying that, Piers, I don't like even referring to myself as a biological woman. I'm a woman, okay? I was born that way. I don't like having to preface that with what I am biologically. I'm a woman. Why should me and other women like me have to put up with competing against men or having men in our locker rooms, men in our restroom, because it makes a very, very small segment of the population feel better about themselves? Why do their feelings trump the feelings of women? That's what I don't understand in this argument, in this debate.
No.
1000%. And I love that she said that as well about I shouldn't have to say cis woman or biological woman. I'm just a woman or I'm just a man. 1000% I agree with that, and I used to use the term biological woman on my channel when I was discussing this topic, and people were upset with me. Were like, you know what, don't say that, because what you're doing is you're cowing to the ideology of the extreme left and this trans identifying, fringe group by prefacing women as biological. And they're right. I shouldn't have to do that. Like, women are women and men are men. End of story. The only people who need a prefix before their biology or their gender are trans people, because they're the ones that are transitioning. They're the ones that are changing things. They're the ones that are going out of their way to have surgeries and to socially transition. They're the ones making the changes. Why should everybody else have to change? Why? So if you are transitioning from male to female or female to male, in my opinion, if you are a male, you are a trans identifying male. A biological male who identifies as the opposite gender, even though you're not. Or the opposite sex, even though you're not. That's just what it is. Now, you may be offended by that. Tough. Deal with it. Nobody cares anymore. So, like Tommy said, woman, man. Clear?
But here's the point. It doesn't make you transphobic if you actually don't want to see women's rights eroded in the process.
Of course it doesn't, Piers. This is the whole problem. The Eli and her trans fringe freak show friends are threatening anyone that disagrees with them. I, as a trans woman, have dealt with their death threats constantly. And what is happening with this brain dead progressive fringe movement is they are taking Democrats that would be on our side, that want to have trans rights protected. They are turning it into the enemy, and they're destroying these organizations so they can't stand against the Republicans that want to take away everything here. They are annihilating our defenses. And Eli, I really want to know, this is my direct question for you. When does this brilliant progressive plan you have for trans rights, when does this curve kick in and we start winning elections again? Because my generation had this for years, and it was progress that you enjoyed when you had your stuff paid for. When do all your brilliant ideas kick in and we start winning elections again? Because you're destroying our entire movement. You're doing things like giving hormones to children. You're giving hormones to children online. You put together a network for this. You lied about it in the aftermath. When did your ideas start working, Eli?
Eli?
Oh, yeah, that's called a mic drop. Mic drop. because Brianna just mic dropped and body slammed and choke slammed and the people's elbowed Eli Ehrlich in that clip. Wow. All I can say is 1000% agree. Number one, Eli Ehrlich becoming the face of the trans movement has done nothing but set people back within that community because of how insane Eli is. And Eli Ehrlich is a representative of what the left looks like today. And it's why so many Americans said, you know what? I'm not voting blue. I don't even like Donald Trump, and I'm going to vote for him anyway because I'm so sick and tired of the craziness of the Eli Ehrlichs in the world. So Brianna's right. Eli is nothing but a detriment. And again, I'm so glad that it was brought up that Eli gave hormones or created a pipeline to children to get hormones when it was outlawed in certain states. Eli?
We heard this exact same rhetoric during the civil rights movement, the gay rights movement.
What is the point? When do they start working?
Progress takes time. You know this, and we've talked before. It does take time, and we can't cut into the rights of anyone. Trying to throw anyone under the bus means that we erode all rights. And we've seen this already with the Supreme Court knocking down certain transgender rights. Next comes abortion, then comes cisgender women's rights, then comes free speech. We've seen it over and over again. We've seen it with the civil rights movement. We've seen it with the gay rights movement of the 1960s to 80s. There's going to be this period of demonization.
That's your answer. Just keep waiting with these brain dead tactics. They're losing elections. Trump is back in office with your playbook, Eli. Your playbook. You put Trump back in office.
Kamala wouldn't even say the word transgender. I really don't think that's very progressive.
No, but you know what she did do? You know what she did do?
That ad is
hang on, Brianna. I mean, what Kamala Harris did do, she and President Biden both supported having trans women in women's sport. And that was part of the most successful political ad in recent memory. As I said to the professor, when you had an ad that ended up, Kamala's for they, them, Donald Trump's for you.
She can't answer, Pierce. She can't answer. She will not defend these brain-dead tactics. You know, Pierce, I don't want to go compete against Tommy in sports. I want to go have lunch uptown with her and, like, talk about normal stuff.
Right.
That's why I transitioned to just have a normal life. Eli is out there pushing this narrative that science doesn't matter, that sex doesn't matter, that we can just roll into every space. She claims to be a feminist, but she doesn't want to make any common sense compromises with the women she says she speaks for.
Yeah, and we see, as we saw, right, and as we saw with JK.
Pierce, please, shh, quiet. Just let Brianna talk. I know it's your show, but let Brianna talk, because Brianna right now is laying the smackdown on Eli Ehrlich right now with straight facts. And that's all you need is straight facts to shut down a lunatic. And I'm here for it. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it.
When Eli and her fringe trans friends make all this stuff and they try to deny reality, they try to deny the reality. I'm a natal male that transitioned to live as a woman. Most people call me she, her as I go about my day. That's fine. That's all I need. I don't need someone to have some existential belief that I'm a woman. I need them to let me have control over my own body and go get health care. What she has done and her playbook does is it elevates all these issues to like hidden knowledge. And they try to shut normal people up when they have questions about trans women in sports, or they have questions about calling themselves pregnant people. Like, it is just imposition after imposition. And when you try to shut people up for so long, eventually they're just going to explode. And this is 100% what we're seeing on Facebook in the American system right now. We've got to stop trying to win debates by silencing them, and we need to come back with some facts. And Pierce, here's a fact. There was a 2018 study that came out that showed that Eli and I both have protein receptors in how we process testosterone. This could be a reason about why we turned out the way that we did. We don't have to deny the reality of sex to admit that there's probably some sort of biological thing that's going on with both of us that makes us behave the way we do.
Right.
Did you catch that last part? Because that last part was very, very, very important, because it has something to do with the medical side of things, and it also explains a possible understanding of where this gender dysphoria comes from. But again, in today's world, you can't really say that, right? Because if you say that, then you are, in the words of Eli, or in the world of Eli, you are dehumanizing trans people. Then you are not validating trans people. Then you're not allowing the idea that transness is 1000% normal, when we know that it's not, because less than 0.1% of the population actually suffers from gender dysphoria. So why not have this discussion? Why not talk about the possible reasons as to why this could be occurring? And maybe it's not a normal process. Maybe it's not a normal thing. But again, you say that, you get canceled, you get in trouble, you get attacked. And don't even get me started on the link between autism and transness, because there is a link there. But again, you can't say that. You can't say that. I just did.
You setting up a network to give children hormones illegally was hugely embarrassing. You should quit. You should stop doing everything you're doing and never talk about this issue again. Stop. You're hurting us.
Eli, you going to stop?
Outside
Why
of
are you
the...
giving children hormones? I want an answer for that. Why are you setting up a network to give children hormones illegally?
Outside of the clear ad hominem
Why
attacks.
are you doing that?
Again,
Just answer the question. Don't give me bullshit. Why are you doing
all
that?
progress requires some pushback.
Why are you giving children
We are going
hormones
to need to
illegally?
keep on
Why are you
fighting
doing
if
this,
we
Eli?
want to see trans
Why
youth
did you set up a network to give
protected and
children
get the
hormones?
necessary health care that they need.
She can't answer. She's not a serious person, Pierce. This is not serious time.
I'm sorry, yelling over me isn't going to solve
You're not
anything.
answering the question. Why are you giving children hormones illegally? Why are you setting up networks to do this, Eli? Why?
So
this is a crime. I want to know why you're doing it. It really hurts us. It makes us look deranged. Why are you doing
Eli,
this?
why are you doing it?
Well, this is going to make some great TV. Look, when trans youth are denied necessary health care, we always have to step in. And right now, under very brave trans lawyers like Chase Strangio are in the Supreme Court fighting for trans kids because of...
In a case he's going to lose.
I actually
There's no
agree with
such
that.
thing as a trans kid.
Tommy?
That's very silly.
Pierce, there's no such thing as a trans kid. That's child abuse. When you take somebody who's still growing up, figuring out who they are, doesn't know anything about sexuality and shouldn't at that young age, and you try to convince them that there's something other than what they were born to be, that's a problem. It's child abuse. That's my opinion. But also, you're talking about trans kids and their mental health. There was a study that was done about mental health for trans youth, and guess what? The results did not come back favorably, so they wanted to bury it, and that is a fact.
We had an infamous clinic in London called the Tavistock Clinic, where no one was allowed to criticise what they were doing, which was mutilating young kids. And it's shut down now in total disgrace and ignominy and shame. But you know what isn't shut down? The damage that was done to those kids. I've seen a lot of kids go through puberty. They change enormously in that process, in how they think. I've seen young girls who are tomboys who then completely change. Having come out of puberty, everything changes emotionally, psychologically, physically, and to try and tamper with that process, I think, is a form of child abuse. I agree with Tommy.
The Eli's response to that was not to call for scientific funding, to not look at what the NIH is doing and to open that up.
We have the funding
to not
already.
call, I'm going to finish my point, to not call for gender clinics to open up their data so we can actually see what's happening to these patients that are children. Her response was to go out and get a bunch of trans people to send these children hormones illegally, which is insane. It makes us look crazy. We've got to get some goddamned adults in charge of the trans rights movement again.
Yeah.
You make us look so stupid and
I agree.
You don't see it.
And folks, that's how you shut down a woke liberal. Exhibit A, this video. I mean, what needed to be said was said, which is why I didn't have to really comment too much on this video, because Brianna pretty much said everything that needed to be said. And I love the fact that Brianna made sure to highlight what Eli did. Giving hormones to children via Instagram, by the way. That's how they were funneling drugs to kids. There have been facilities that have been shut down in the UK and in Europe because it came out from studies that transitioning children, bad idea. So I'm glad that we're having this discussion. I'm glad that we're going in depth with this discussion because it needs to be said. So bravo to you, Brianna, for shutting Eli down with straight facts. No emotions, facts. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video. Where do you stand on this issue? Are you team Brianna or team Eli? Let me know down below. If you enjoy my content, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. And again, I'm sorry I look like a bum, but it's cold outside, all right? Deal with it. Peace.